Okay, so we've had the admittance. The human T word, I'm not going to say it. The assets for the psionic abilities, right? This is now what I believe is going to be the agenda to stay safe, to roll this out because it's digestible to the population of the planet. Yes, there are assets. They are in the form of children and other things, and it's for the psionic abilities to be able to draw these crafts in. 2 million a year for the last decades, right? We've got a lot of people that can do this, right? From disaster zones, war-torn areas, stuff like that. Let's go. Check this out.
Rounding up the whistleblowers and shutting them up because there are good reasons and bad reasons to be a whistleblower.
So just a quick click break. What Jesse Michels should now say is, well, define good and bad. What is the good whistleblower? What is the bad whistleblower? Are they both equally telling the truth, but one is a good thing, digestible for the population of the planet, and what's the bad one? Is that the one that really the population would not be able to accept? That is what I would have said. This is what Jesse says.
And so
you were at this press event, red teaming, basically.
Exactly, yeah.
You are trying to maybe gather intel on people who might become a liability for the program,
yeah.
And you hear Michael Herrera give his testimony.
And I wasn't prepared for that, so...
I'm sorry, because you had already seen the 8-gon.
Yes.
And then he talked to us what you had experienced firsthand.
Yes.
And then
he's getting up there and everyone's like, this guy's full of shit.
Well, his was the craziest testimony from that. And so basically this guy is saying in 2009, he's deployed with his Marine unit to the Philippines. Then a small part of that Marine unit, like 8 or 9 people, get actually moved off to Indonesia. Is this right?
Yes.
And there's a 7 Richter scale earthquake that had just occurred in the area, so it's a disaster zone.
This is good. We're going to want to go over this whole thing. Keep going.
And he sees this 8-gon, octagon-shaped craft, matte black. He describes it as like blacker than black, and it's hovering above the treetops. And his unit starts to close in because he's like, what is this thing?
Yeah.
And there's a humming sound around it, so not a traditional engine.
Yeah.
And as they're sort of moving towards it, what he describes as this elite, possibly Department of Energy paramilitary unit with technical gear out the wazoo comes and apprehends he and his team.
Yeah.
And they have bioscanners and they have all sorts of technical gear. They're threatening this team of Marines and they're saying it's easy to get lost in the jungle, right?
Yeah.
They were actually 2 of the guys. We're actually talking about either, hey, should we smoke these guys right now? You know, that's what they kept saying. It was kind of feeding more into the fear at that point because, again, I don't know who these guys are. I know they had American gear, they had American sidearms as well. If these guys have actually taken an oath like we have, and then why they're going against people like